everybody, and welcome to another episode of Healthy AF. When I come into the recording studio, I just have to brag a minute on my producer, Moose, because we almost always have a chat that sets me right in a great mood for a podcast. And then before I go into like the little virtual room to record, and he goes into the virtual producing room, wherever he goes, I'm like, okay, love you, bye. He's like, I love you. And it's just such a nice, warm way to begin a podcast. And I'm grateful for it. I hope you have those people in your life that just randomly remind you how awesome sauce you are. Okay, so let's talk about December. Because you may or may not have those people in your life reminding you of how awesome sauce you are when you are visiting family for the holidays. I wanted to address a very common thing that I've lived through that I hear a lot of, particularly moms, but I think everybody does it, and I think it's relatable to everybody. Taking responsibility for things that we actually can't control. Holiday edition. I realized on Thanksgiving that I was trying to take control of how my mom experienced the holiday. Let me break that down for you. My mom likes things a certain way when people are coming to the house, whether they are my kids or her neighbors, or whether it was 50 years ago or last week. She feels most comfortable and has the most fun when things are a certain way. And when they're not that way, she can, like many of us, feel anxious. Well, I sort of tried to take that on as my challenge. I tried to control mom's anxiety. I tried to make sure that she didn't get anxious. And this is what that looked like in real life. What it looked like in real life is I tried to have everything exactly scheduled out, complete with a list of all the things that needed to be cooked, the table that needed to be set, all the cleaning that needed to be done, exactly what time it needed to be done, and have the alarms on my phone so that I knew exactly when those things would happen and I was alerted as to when they were going to happen. Now, actually, it was a very well planned day. I will say that. But I didn't do any of that because I wanted to contribute to our household, or I wanted to understand the flow of the day so that I didn't get behind and I didn't feel rushed. I did all of that to make sure someone else's emotions stayed in a zone where I was comfortable. Yeah, now are you beginning to hear the crazy? Are you beginning to relate? Yeah. So, most of my life, I have done some behaviors to manipulate other people's experiences of their life so that I didn't feel uncomfortable with their experiences. Now, it sounds real super crazy, and you may not be able to relate to that, but I beg to differ. I think that you probably can. Let's take the case that you have something to tell the children. You've promised them to go to a movie, and the movie theater is closed because the projectory thing, I know they don't use projectors anymore, but the projectory thing is not working. Do you dread telling them? Do you try to soften it up and maybe say like, "Well, we can't go, but we're gonna go get ice cream," because you actually don't want them to have that temper tantrum because that temper tantrum really harshes your vibe. Yeah, that's totally what I did. I'm going to placate, I'm going to make happy, I'm going to like protect, bubble wrap the people around me so that their emotions aren't awry. Because when other people's emotions are awry, I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm so uncomfortable. Yeah. So the holidays brings a lot of that up. We have a lot of people coming into the house. We might be going to their house, and like from the tiniest little things, like I went to visit a friend last weekend, actually, and it's should I poop in this bathroom that's downstairs right beside the kitchen? Or should I go upstairs to that guest bathroom? Or, like I don't want to inconvenience anybody. I don't want to be in the way. I want everybody to be happy, and how do I change my behaviors and what I need with that motive? So let's look at many of my friends, and I'm not really included in this because I have a unique situation with my holidays. But many of my friends who do have college age kids have their kids coming home for the week, coming home for the holidays, and coming home for Christmas. So let's see if you can relate to this. Your kids are coming home. Change it to relatives coming in town if you need to. You are busting your hump all week to get the house clean, to get the sheets changed and put on the bed proper, to get all the dog hair up, to go to the groceries and find all the things that they like. That one food that you can only get at the Harris Teeter, go get all the rest of them at the food line. You're looking for all the recipes that are the favorites, including the cakes from your grandma and Aunt Sandy's fried chicken and all that stuff. And you're hoofing around trying to get everything just perfect. This one likes the Starbucks caramel creamer, but this one needs the oat milk creamer, trying to get all that just straight, trying to make sure that the presents are wrapped, the tree is decorated beautifully, everything is outside cleaned up, leaves are picked up, right? All this scurrying around. Now, this is where we start shredding hairs, okay? The doing, the preparing of all that so that that guest can arrive and feel welcome and have a really nice, clean place to stay where they feel comfortable, to have food prepared for them that communicates the amount of love with which it was prepared. Like that is such a gift. And that's so beautiful. And when we have the motive of preparing this act of love and service to other human beings called our children or our in laws or our mama and daddy, that's a really beautiful, authentic way of communicating. I want to paint a different picture. That is not how I lived most of my life. This picture, same doing, same going to the food line, hitting the Harris Teeter, grabbing up all the recipes, doing all the cooking, doing all the sheet changing, all the Swiffering, all the vacuuming, all the dusting, all the rearranging, organizing, and wrapping and buying and Christmas ornaments, all the yard work. It's doing all that, but it actually is to make sure that those people who are coming to your home don't complain, are nice to you, think you're good, value you, like you. That is exhausting. And that is how I lived. And I know some of you living, listening to this podcast right now can relate to the motive for all of that being I want to make sure that those people are happy because I want to make sure that I'm liked because I want to make sure that I don't get left behind or I want to have worth. When we get there, when we slow down long enough, why am I going to the Harris Teeter to get that oat milk creamer? When we really look and we get straight on our motives, if it's an act of service and love, great. If it's I'm avoiding somebody being uncomfortable, pissed off, angry, complaining about something, criticizing me, possibly not liking me, it's just a manipulation. And it's not going to feel good. And the worst is it doesn't work. When we live inside manipulation, it is exhausting. And the very thing that we want for people to like us or for people to be around us or not leave us or be connected or have belonging is 100% blocked by the motive of manipulation. Now, sometimes when I work with people, when I use that word manipulate, we get all kinds of butt hurt. I know it took me a while too. When I first started on my personal professional journey, um, if someone described to me that I was manipulating a situation or a person, I was really offended. No, I would never do that. I'm a good person. Well, you do that. You do it. I do it. Everybody does it. And we've been doing it since we were infants. So I want you to listen and just, you don't have to get married to this idea, but just contemplate. We all know babies, right? If you've ever been around a baby, you know how fast they learn. I mean, they may knock their spoon off their high chair and have mommy pick it up one time by accident. Every other time is just like, oh my God, that's so cool. Look, hey, watch this. I drop the spoon, she picks it up. It's awesome. We know that they do that. And actually, by the time they've done it 15 times, because they are so entertained, that spoon does not go back on that high chair, right? We change our behavior. It's no different than when a baby's hungry. A baby's hungry and they cry because physiologically they're hungry and their body is telling them, hey, I'm hungry, this is uncomfortable and I don't like it. But then at some point they learn, oh, if I cry a little bit, then mom will come feed me. And it doesn't have to be out of hunger. It might be they just want to snuggle. Same thing. Have you ever watched a toddler throwing an absolute fit, complete with like on the ground, legs kicking, horrible? You'd think that their spleen was being ripped out, only to like stop the minute like grandma walks in. Or I don't know, any little thing distracts them from the temper tantrum they're throwing. They're doing that exaggerated response because they want something. They're not bad people, man. Toddlers are not bad people. They're smart as stink, and they're learning to get what they want. I learned very early on, keep the peace, comfort people, make people happy, be good. And I learned how to manipulate people like that. I mean, my God, I'm a nurse for Pete's sake. I can comfort you. And it's a good thing when it's coming from service. It's not a good thing when I'm just comforting you up because I'm tired. I'm like 11 hours and 55 minutes into a 12-hour shift, and I really just need you to stop hitting that call bell. So I'm going to fluff them pillows for you, buddy. But then I'm getting the heck out of here. You see that difference? I'm gonna fluff the pillows because I'm serving you versus like, dude, I just need you to be like, I'm gonna be real sweet to you for about the next 2 minutes because this girl has got to go to the potty. Right? It's different. So I'm gonna leave you with this coaching question. This holiday season, who are you trying to control? What are you hustling and grinding about trying to control them with? And how can you do something different? Who are you trying to control? I can tell you for me, I will need to journal about trying to control slash not trying to control my children's experience of the holiday, my mama's experience of the holiday. And what are you doing to try to control that? Am I stepping over, you know, disrespectful responses? Am I letting things go that normally I wouldn't? Am I not taking care of myself in order to um, create someone else's experience so that I don't have to deal with any uncomfortableness that I don't want to deal with? And what can I do different? The what can I do different? I'm going to give you a solid answer for that. Stop. Stop. Just stop what you're doing. The hustling and the striving and the making it perfect and the, worrying. Just stop it. Normally I would say pause, but I think sometimes when we're in the midst of it, like just stop sign, hard stop. And just take a minute and reassess. Like, wait, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because like I love these people and I just want them to have the best time ever and I'm gonna, serve them? Am I doing this in service? Or am I doing this because like, man, I'm just tired and I'm just trying to avoid the bullshit? Gosh, you deserve so much better in your life than living to avoid bullshit. Anyway, happiest of holidays. A little self reflection is going to get you straight to a place where you can serve and love people and take care of yourself in the meantime. If any of this conversation is hitting a nerve from you and you need to talk it out, go ahead and grab yourself a consult with me. We'll talk it through and see if I can help you or if your next steps look something different. Give yourself some grace most of all. These are big changes. And I'll see you next time on Healthy AF.